Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mighty Misfit Menagerie, or
Cast.
Love it. This is going to be Candlekeep Mysteries, Chapter 2, Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions, Episode 2. And that's how I'm calling it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. 222.
Would our lovely, wonderful Helena like to give us a quick recap of last session?
Decapitated.
Wow. Our group was gathered together in the hearth once again. Lovely setting that it is. We all like to hang out there a lot. Except for Laszlo, he doesn't really like it that much. So he tries to sneak in, but of course we're going to notice him because we live to torment him. So he walks in, he's got his book. He's kind of like, I'm really interested in this book, guys. And we kind of look at it and it's Mazfroth's Minor Digressions. Dazzling frick. What is it?
Mazfroth's Mighty Digressions.
Mighty. Okay. I was like, you think I'd remember Mighty? You think I remember that one? So he's starts to kind of read it and he gets like entranced, like he cannot help himself but read it. And then it starts blurring and turns into this weird blob of ectoplasm that we then have to fight. It starts crying for, it wasn't saying meat, right? It was just like, feed
Life.
me.
Feed
Life.
me, need life.
Feed me, need life, right?
Very
gross. Killed Laszlo. It's like, I'm done with you, bro. You did what you had to do. And we're all like, whoa. So we take it down and Benlin's able to get Laszlo back. And we're like, so, oh, I'm sorry, Kirill is able to get him back. And so we're like, that was weird. That's probably not supposed to happen. And Paige is kind of tiptoeing by and he's like, that is weird. It's the third time it's happened this week. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, Sage Marigold was saying that 2 other books turned into attacks and sages were attacked. So we're like, okay, we better go talk to her. So we talked to the sage and she's like, yeah, it happened. We didn't seem to care very much. Maybe you guys will do something about it. So Galarian High Scroll gave the Mazfroth book to Candlekeep. So maybe go find him. And the other 2 books were brought in by this knight. Maybe find her. So we're like, we will find them. So then we went to Galarian and they was like, yeah, I got that book at this creepy place in Baldur's Gate, something about Dune. It didn't, he didn't seem apologetic that it attacked people. So we were like, okay, thanks for the info. We find the Tiefling Knight. She's like, yeah, I also got those 2 books from Baldur's Gate, someplace named Dune. Weird how no one can remember what this place is called. So we're like, okay, well, thanks for that. So we plan our journey. It's 5 days away. So we're like, let's go. And we went and we're 2 days in.
I love it. That is precisely what happened. There was some quick haggling with a stable head. And he said, yeah, just take whatever you guys need. I just want a song when you come back. And
yeah, did you write that song?
We are not back yet. It will be done in its time. Like
not back yet.
A wizard, songs arrive, never late, never early, but right when they mean to.
Oh, I love the nod. The nod there. Yeah. You guys have been traveling. It's been rather quiet. It's going to be the 4th day now, and you guys head out. This 4th day resembles the 3rd, which resembles the 2nd, which kind of resembles the 1st, really. As you guys are making your way down the path, you come across a bridge.
Oh, as he's revealing to us, Kirill is sitting in the back of the wagon, There's a bright golden haze on the courtyard. No, that's not it. Kind of fiddling through different tunes, trying to find one for their dwarven stable master.
I love that.
Harry's very proud of his hairy knuckles. Maybe figure that in there somewhere.
All
Oh,
right.
that's a tough one.
That bridge doesn't seem too steady. You think it'll be okay?
Sure, it's fine, darling.
I mean, it is a bridge, so
Well, I mean, sure, until it's not a bridge anymore. It's like saying that Earth is the ground until there's an earthquake. It's not the ground anymore. It's because you call it the ground doesn't mean it's going to be the ground forever.
I mean, but you don't walk across the courtyard afraid that an earthquake is going to happen.
Yeah, but the courtyard's not suspended over running water. So,
I mean, if an earthquake happened, it could be. Giant
No,
chasm
no.
opening up in the earth, and then you
I don't know
fall.
where the water would come from, but
Underground lakes.
okay, sure. Well,
Fair assessment.
All right. As you guys approach the bridge, it seems steady. It's been traversed before, and it's not going anywhere.
Well,
I do a couple of artful somersaults across it. See, safe as houses.
I wait for everyone
that
else
seems-
to pass, and then I'll go bring up the rear.
Past it.
I just plonk the wagon across it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm definitely out of the wagon before it goes over, because I do
I mean,
not trust it with the
seems-
wagon.
Okay.
sound enough to me.
Well, as you guys cross the bridge, you hear a rustling in the bushes. I'm not going to make anyone make perception checks, as the rustling is intentful. As you make your way across the bridge, if you would like to arrange yourselves in whatever order you see yourself crossing, as
It's
a were-rat jumps out from the bushes, followed by two giant rats. Everybody
That's
roll
an unusual
initiative.
size.
I'm glad we
that's a-
did get
Oh,
ambushed
wow.
on the road because we did tell Laszlo it was possible. So it's a good learning experience for him.
It is, yeah.
And that's a 15 for Kirill for initiative.
Perfect.
So natural 1, totaling 2.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, he's nervous.
I was on
Gaia?
a 12.
5.
I
Okay.
swear this never happens to me.
Oh, goodness. Okay. First, I've got Kirill.
Oh, okay. So seeing them pop out of the bushes, I think my immediate instinct would be to use my crossbow, because I am not a bard that has a lot of spell options at this point. So I will
Absolutely.
fire at the one in front.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 19 to hit.
At 19 absolutely hits.
Excellent. For 7 damage.
Okay.
As he slings it around his shoulder, unholsters the crossbow, and fires in a rhythmically smooth motion.
The bolt enters into his shoulder. He kind of jumps back, looks at it, startled, not preparing for such immediate battle. He goes, "You shoot Mashika! I just want your wares. Hand over your wares!" Oh! As he goes to then grab his shoulder.
We have no wares, scoundrel. Move the path.
"You of course have wares. You travel the way of the coast." Oh! As he realizes again he's in a lot of pain. That's going to take us to Benley.
We truly don't have any wares. Are you looking to surrender, or... I mean, there's still time.
He looks over at Benlin, goes, "No, you come from Candlekeep. I know where you're headed. You're headed to Baldur's Gate. You carry books, treasures. Hand them over."
I'm gonna hop off the wagon. and reach out and touch somebody.
Reach out and
Not
touch
face?
face.
Not face.
That's going to be a 22. Does that hit him?
Oh yeah.
All right, 18 necrotic damage as
Dang.
vines sprout from my elbow and stab him as he blisters.
Said 18.
Yep.
Okay. Any semblance of color he had in his brown, patchy, gross, unkept fur kind of fades away as he lets out sounds as he's never quite been attacked like this before. As that happens, one of the were-rats comes down and makes a swipe. Or were-rats, one of the giant rats comes down and tries to bite at you, Benlin. And does a 6 hit?
No. And then Benlin's going to go, come on, man, this is kind of embarrassing.
After that, the other giant rat is going to come over to Naya, being the next one in line.
And
try
what
to
have
bite
I
Naya.
done?
just
Scoundrel
rats.
indeed.
Oh, and I assume a 5 does not hit Naya.
No, it does not.
They miss wildly, just kind of biting at air, it seems. It's going to take us to Mushika. He's going to pull out his short sword and swing it at Benlin as Benlin is right in front of him. Does a 7 hit?
No, bud.
Okay. As his sword goes wide, he realizes his grave mistakes that he's made up until this point in his life, and he just goes for a bite, and he misses wildly.
Can I, as a free action, just go, there's still time to run away?
You can.
I don't think they listen to reason.
That takes us to Naya.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit the one in front of me with my short sword, and then as a bonus attack, use an unarmed strike.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a crit on the short sword.
Nice.
How do crits work in your game, Jake?
But it was...
I like to do max plus roll.
Okay, so that's 24 and a 7.
So...
Oh, not damage. No, I'm sorry. It's 24
Okay.
to hit. I just thought it's
Okay.
a 24 and a 7 to hit. Probably not the 7. So I'll just do the short
Just
sword.
the 24, yeah.
Okay. And that's going to be 7 damage.
That is exactly what you needed. How do you one swipe kill this giant rat?
Just kind of like a lazy backhanded swipe with the short sword and a smack on the head, but I miss the smack, so I guess I just and fling it away. It's flung away.
It's flung away. That's going to take us to Laszlo. Laszlo, buddy. What you
It seems like everything is taken care of over there. Let me know if you need me, and I'll end my turn.
All right. Kirill.
I'll just yell back, buddy, we always need you. And I'll fire a bolt at the giant rat. So
Okay.
that will be... geez, those are good tonight. Okay. That's going to be a 20 to hit the giant rat.
Absolutely does.
And 5 damage from the crossbow bolt.
Okay.
And then I believe that's all I can do. So that will be the end of my turn as I call back at him over my shoulder.
The bolt enters the side of the giant rat. The rat lets out a squeal of pain and looks around, trying to take in its surroundings and its new situation as the status quo has changed.
Feel free to scamper off in fear now, dear. We won't judge you. Bit off more than you could chew.
At this point,
Literally.
the were-rat Mushika starts to look around, and he turns to run.
Oh, I was mostly joking, but I'm glad you took the advice.
You're so fearsome, Carol. He couldn't help but run.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Goes to run. Will take the attack of opportunity, Benlin, if you choose. But it is also your turn. And he's trying to flee.
13?
Oh, you're
13.
taking it.
13 hits.
6.
6. Okay. What was the attack you were making?
I was just gonna hobble him, keep him from robbing people for a while.
He barely manages to gather himself and run away in his damaged state, debating his life choices like I had stated. He flees.
Can't imagine he ever gets any wares that way.
I mean, less armed people do travel this path, unfortunately.
Is the other rat still alive, or are both rats dead?
The other rat's still alive. Their turn is up next, and he's going to realize his surroundings and make a break for it away, trying to catch up to the one who had guided him here. If anyone would like to, well, not anyone, Naya or Benlin, if you are going to take an attack of opportunity, it is there.
That's not the one that bit me, right?
No, that one missed wildly.
Okay, then it's okay.
I already used my reaction, so.
Okay. He makes it off.
Don't make me regret that.
I'm going to climb into the driver's seat and guide the thing off the bridge. As much fun as that was, I just don't trust that much weight being on this rickety of a bridge.
Yeah, waiting until the weight's off. Then Laszlo's gonna come across the bridge.
Same arrangements as before then, continuing the journey. Unless anyone would like to do anything else, do anything special.
Laszlo, you survived your first ambush. First of many.
Well, I mean, technically they ambushed you on the other side of the river, not really me, but yay.
Well, you got to watch this time, so next time you'll be prepared to jump into the fray.
True.
Yes, I'm a little bit out of practice. I'm used to having a dragon for these kinds of things, but it was much fun to handle on your own.
He points at his dragon head or dragonborn face.
A little bigger. Yeah.
That's got it.
Well, and according to your book, she was blue, wasn't she?
She was, yes. Not bronze, no.
All right. With that, there's nothing more noteworthy for the rest of the 4th day. You guys travel quite a ways. Anyone that would like to make me a survival check may do so.
I'll do it.
I've got a +1.
That is a 16.
16? Yeah, once it's time to kind of wind down for the night, you guys are still on the right path. And at some point tomorrow, you should be getting there.
Oh, I'm excited to be close again to a city. This is going to be glorious.
Do we get a per diem for meals while we're in Baldur's Gate?
Oh, we probably should have asked about that. I don't think so.
I mean, we're not really on the penny of anybody, right?
Oh, yes, but we can always try and charge them after the fact.
I would just imagine that they'd offer, if not a reward, at least covering our expenses for dealing with harmful books that tried to injure sages. That seems fair.
And if nothing else, we could always just make Laszlo pay us.
No,
that doesn't seem fair.
No.
You guys, I'm assuming, are setting up camp, doing the normal watch thing.
I'll take the first watch.
Okay. Naya taking first watch. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Rolling.
Is anyone else doing anything before everybody goes off to bed and Naya starts watch?
Oh boy. It's a 4.
It's a 4?
It was a natural 1.
Okay.
So
by the grace of skills.
I am deep in meditation and not really watching, it sounds like.
Yeah, did you accidentally schedule an appointment for tomorrow when you're not going to be there? Oh, shoot.
Shucks. I'll have to deal with that later.
Client?
He's such a mercurial client, too.
Blast. But with that, time for the watch to end. Nothing happens. Nothing of note. I can't speak to Naya's reaction to realizing she has a scheduled client tomorrow, but that's up to you. Was anyone going to do second watch? Naya, you waking anybody up?
Sure,
I
I'll
can
wake
do
up
it.
Carol.
Dark vision.
Alright. Carol, you're up.
That's fine. Yes, happy to help. Sorry. Awake. Totally awake. That is a 15.
15. You notice the sounds and the movement of the night. Some creatures and critters scampering by. The occasional bird flying out of a tree. No big deal. Nothing eventful happens.
He just spends most of the evening not playing the lute, but fingering it in mime. Because now he's become concerned that nothing's come to him for the coachmen when they return.
Morning comes. No threats. No perceivable dangers. How's
Morning,
everyone's
Jack.
morning?
So I get up and I greet Carol. Morning, darling. How's that sound coming? I see you fingering your instrument over here.
I thought you all were asleep. I am not making any headway, unfortunately, but perhaps the sounds and sights and smells of the city will awaken something.
I think so. Baldur's Gate has a way of opening the mind.
Is that why they call it that?
I mean,
never
he's a
thought that.
dwarf. He's a dwarf, so couldn't you really just play any, elvish song and he probably wouldn't recognize it, right?
I don't want to lie about it. I like something tailor-made for the client. Something.
Why don't you
really
write about Laszlo's first trip to Baldur's Gate?
I don't know if I'd listen to that song. I mean, it's not super eventful as yet, and I'm hoping it's not any more eventful either.
I mean, we already have a mighty dragon and a warrior princess. They fought off a horrendous shape-shifting beast and his two mighty animal companions.
Not to mention that blob that started this whole thing.
I'll clap Laszlo on the back. Fear is the mind killer, my boy. We are off to find the dune.
And a proper meal made by somebody else.
Yeah, as you guys make off, you were a little closer to Baldur's Gate than you may have thought. Still early morning, not quite high noon yet, when you reach the outer gate of Baldur's Gate. It being a huge trade city, you guys can make it in easily. You would know, Naya, that the open marketplace that the books were described to have come from is going to be more towards the upper city.
I think we should head to the upper city. I think that might be where this mysterious bookstore might be.
I think that's where they said the market was, as well, in the interrogations and whatnot. That seems fair.
Was it not the upper ward? Was that not the phrase that was
Upper
used?
ward, upper city. I feel they're interchangeable. Either way, we need to head
Why so
skyward.
stiff?
All right. You guys make your way through Baldur's Gate. The sights and sounds. It's a bustling city. Stenches around some corner. The smell of fresh baked breads around another corner. All sights and sounds of the Big Apple, if you will.
And then take away at the way this man walks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you would be perfect with a man who walks like this. What do you think?
I am not in the market for some Baldur's Gate floozy, Naya. We're here to
Floozy?
find
You
out.
don't even. A floozy does not walk that way.
Can we focus on the task at hand? Possibly.
I suppose, if you want to be boring about it.
Yes, desperately.
After an hour or so of traversing through the city, Naya pointing out potential partners to Benlin, you guys come across a wide section of tents and stalls, vendors of all sorts. You hear the loud commotion. If one were to listen closely, you could hear many different vendors openly trying to get people. Come in, come in. Do you need cookware? We've got cookware. And someone else offering their fresh baked breads and around. You've made it to the market.
Cookware? Do you need any cookware, Benlin?
Oh no, nothing but off a street vendor, especially not in Baldur's Gate.
Oh, are they?
You're being too hard on the place.
Are they bad?
I don't have terribly fond memories of the Sword Coast.
Baldur's Gate is just as good as any other city. It just is a little more cramped, perhaps, a little more compressed, which can allow some more savory opportunities than more spread out cities in, Kalimshan or in even Waterdeep, being the size that it is, feels more sprawling than this place. I've held out.
At the mention of Waterdeep, Benlin seems to be visibly perturbed, but doesn't say anything.
I'll buy some bread off of one of the vendors.
Yeah. The one holding a giant loaf in the air, he offers bread for 1 silver piece. You, sir?
Silver piece for a loaf of bread.
Absolutely not.
This is the best. This is the best bread you've ever laid your. And he kind of looks in. Teeth. It's the best bread you've ever sunk your teeth into. Only the finest from Autumn's breads.
Benlin pulls out a 4-day-old loaf of his own bread and puts it on the counter. Like, take a bite of that. Put your coin where your mouth is, sir.
He grabs it and he looks over. This is my stall. I will not be undersold.
Well,
and he kind of pushes it back.
Sell
A silver
the boy.
piece?
Well, if you're trying to sell bread for a silver, I think you'll not be sold at all, but it was lovely to meet you, sir.
3 copper pieces.
That's what we were looking for. Too kind.
I don't really need the whole loaf. If you cut it, can I give you a copper and a half?
He'll take the whole loaf for a copper. 3 copper pieces.
Yes, I want you share.
It's fine.
Benlin, he points to Benlin and goes, sold. He reaches back behind the counter, pulls out one that is wrapped delicately and nicely, but there's no steam coming off of it or anything. It's just wrapped nicely. And
I open it in front of him.
Is
there something wrong with it?
Bread.
Make a investigation check.
Oh boy!
I have culinary tools. Can I make a culinary
tools?
I will absolutely give you a culinary check. Yeah.
This is an official bread crustometer.
Add. You're the cook. Add your proficiency modifier to it.
All right, that's a 19.
That's a 19. It's not fresh. This was baked last night in preparation of today's selling.
I take the fresh bread that he tried to sell us and then push his old bread back at him. And be like, do we have a problem?
He gives you the up and down, looks over at Laszlo, and acknowledging Naya, says, no problem. Is there anything else I can help you with? As he takes the original bread.
Well, I actually prefer the tougher bread.
Laszlo, stop.
Oh, you do?
I prefer I like the crunch.
Well, he takes it back out. Goes, do you? Really?
Both.
And he hands it over.
And I will go ahead and place a silver piece in his hand for the 2 slices of bread. And keep the change as a tip, and don't try and oversell Candlekeep delegates again, please.
Oh, well, you should have stated before. My apologies.
How about we try not to undersell anyone ever?
I gotta make a living somehow.
Darling, do you know of a bookseller nearby? Something that rhymes with Dune?
Dune. And he kind of flips the silver piece in his hand, looks back down at it, and goes, there is Amber Dune.
That's
Is that
the name of the bookseller?
Amber Dune?
Amber Dune Books? They're,
Can you...
And he kind of turns to look around the wide. He goes, it's either of the back corners. I don't remember. I don't go too deep into the wide, but they're in the corner.
Gold piece down on the counter. Does this help with your memory at all?
Without giving too much of a glance, he nabs it. Back left corner. You can't miss the weirdly eyed sellers there. Yeah.
I hold on to your arm, Benlin. I'm like, I love it when you take charge, darling.
No, I'm really hoping they reimburse us for this trip.
This bread's actually pretty good.
It resembles more of a crouton, like a loaf crouton, as opposed to fresh baked breads.
Perfect for dragonborn teeth.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they make floss for you.
The bones of my enemies.
I will leave the stall at that point, feeling as though this bread seller's gotten too much out of us, and start to make the way to that back left corner.
Yeah. As you make your way deeper into the wide, the Knights of the Watch roam through the wide, making sure that there's no trouble. This is technically in the upper city, so they're trying to keep the peace. They're not angry or hurting anybody. They're just doing their patrols. Then as you guys make your way through, in the heart of it, the shops become more and more dense. They get closer and closer in together, and the smells start to mix. It gets louder. The stench of stabled horses and other beasts of burden permeates through the air. And then it starts to kind of loosen up a little, making it to the back end. You make it to the back edge, and when you make your turn, there it is, a bookseller in the back corner.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
God. When I was...
Does it look creepy?
Everyone make me a perception check.
You say everyone or someone?
14.
Anyone who's trying to get any info on the bookshop.
6.
6.
My luck ran out.
7.
I got 14.
Okay.
Benlin's still pissed off about the bread.
Okay.
Aw, you know what he likes a little bit.
Yeah, you got some more info on what Laszlo does enjoy.
Hard bread.
Naya. It's a pretty straightforward bookstore. The sellers there are not being shifty in any way. They're flagging people down just as any merchant would, and the stalls kept up pretty well.
So, team, what's the plan coming into this? Are we gonna say, "Hey, your books tried to kill us. Stop," or what?
I was thinking something a little more nuanced. Perhaps we
Please stop.
approach it as a positive. Tell them that we'd love to find more books of the type that were gathered, because the lively nature of them is something that Candlekeep is interested in researching. Use that to, weed out a confession and go from there.
Benlin puts his weapon away, hearing Kirill speak.
Just a thought. Not something that we have to pursue, but if we want to get a false sense of security, I think that's not necessarily a bad choice to start positive.
When in doubt, trust the bard. That's what I always say.
We'll follow your lead.
I always say you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, though why anybody would want to catch flies is beyond me.
I mean, if that's the case, we should send in our honeypot. Naya?
Can be a tag team affair.
All right, what are we doing? Are we approaching?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I will. I'll leave weapons away, loot slung around the back, and just pull out my notepad and have it under my arm.
Wonderful. As you guys approach, you see two jackal wares. Very approachable, very
Did you say
professional.
jackal wares?
I was just going to ask that.
Jackal wares. Yeah.
Are those
As in hyena men?
Hyena men.
Okay. Okay.
Are they even allowed in Baldur's Gate?
I'm so sorry. You see two humans.
What?
I have a feeling about them.
The wrong section of this is bolded.
They have a very predatory nature, clearly.
They do. Well, you see two humans with weird eyes. The wrong section of this is bolded. Don't bold the stuff you're not supposed to tell people.
It's kind of a weird one.
All right.
Okay, we approach the humans that are not at all not human.
Two definite human men.
We're so sorry, Jake. It's just so funny.
We've all been there. We've all had this happen. All right.
Approach the humans.
I love you, buddy.
Good afternoon. Is this Amber Dunes?
The taller, slightly older woman of the two turns and says, "Yes, this is Amber Dune Books. My name is Avani. How can I be of assistance?"
Oh, Avani, excellent. We'd love to speak with you about Candlekeep. We have received some very interesting books from your stall recently, and we're curious to procure further.
She goes, "Oh, we do have a select copy of, well, a couple select copies of some rare books. What did you have in mind for Candlekeep?"
Well, and I'll lean in a little bit, lowering my voice. We'd received a few awakened and possessed books, and the sages found them fascinating.
Make me a deception check.
Ooh. Okay. Damn it. 11.
11.
I have a +5.
She looks and goes, "I don't know what you're referring to."
Well, I'm sure the guard can help us out.
Oh, with that, Inbar kind of steps forward and comes in and goes, "Look, we can't really come back at sundown. Okay, Corvallo will be here helping us break down the tent and take our unsold inventory back. You'll just have to speak to Corvallo, okay?"
Okay.
And we should trust you because...
Realistically, you have no reason to trust us, but we have not done anything ill towards you. Now, we're sorry about Candlekeep. We truly never intended. I've already said too much. Come back at sundown. If you worry, you know the watch patrols until the last of the people leave, and you'll talk to Corvala.
We would really love to find out what it was you did intend, so I think that we'll be happy to see you later in the day.
All right. And as this conversation kind of finishes up, Arvani comes back around to outside the front of their shop and right back to books. Many books. I've got rare ones, I've got old ones, I've got new ones. Who needs a good book? Everybody needs a good book.
You don't really think we're going to just sit here and let you sell cursed books to people, right?
She turns and, well, I don't know anything about cursed books. Like we've said, we're just selling common books. We'll just sell common books the rest of today, okay?
No, you're not. Until we know what's going on here, you're not going to sell any more books that could potentially end the lives of innocent people.
With that,
Go
go ahead, Colton.
No, go ahead.
With that, Avani and Inbar exchange glances. Inbar says, okay, I will go get Corvala now, if you'll excuse me.
Wow,
And he
that was really
makes his way.
difficult for him.
Are you two involved? I say to Ivana.
Oh, heavens no. He's part of the pack, the family.
Oh. Yes, they seem rather dull. I think you can do better.
Curious choice of words, Pack.
A pack of family members. Are you guys doing?
I idly browse the books and yeah.
Okay.
Laszlo, do you have any way of determining if any of these books are like the one that you had?
I don't think so. I mean, I couldn't really determine that one wanted to kill me while I was reading it.
I will sit down outside the stall and play a little bit, and through the playing I will try and sleight of hand cast prestidigitation to create the smell of burning paper 10 feet inside the stall.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
At 20, which is a 23. They finally
Nice.
came back after all those sixes.
Carol.
Oh, but I'm playing openly as just casting the casting.
Awesome. Avani starts to look around as she does. Sweetie, as she goes over to Naya, do you smell that? Is something happening?
Oh dear, I hope someone hasn't started a fire.
At that, she runs out to the front of the stall and looks around frantically.
I will use another instance of prestidigitation because I can have 3 going at a time to warm an area and create the light of a small torch under one of the tables.
She sees it and runs over to investigate.
Now's your time to check the books. Anything you want to look.
So I'm looking around at the books, and then is there any so this is a stall, so it's not like a building where there would be a back room or anything like that, right?
Correct. It's going to be think like swap meet, kind of they set up shop every day, put up a roof, drape some curtains down to make like walls, but there are smaller bookshelves lined up, like a makeshift library that are going to hold all of their books.
So can I like investigate whether there appears to be any like personal belongings or notes or anything that's not specifically a book, but I guess any other kind of
Yeah,
things that might give
absolutely.
us a clue about these people?
Absolutely. Is anyone else doing anything while Naya's poking around?
I'm just maintaining the spell, I guess.
Benlin, Laszlo, anything?
Benlin doesn't know what's going on.
Where did the other guy go?
He left the wide, kind of to get out from around the upper city. If the upper, and I hadn't planned this part of the map too in depth, but if the upper city is out the way you guys came in, he kind of came out the back way and went down towards the lower city.
I guess I'll help Naya check the books. I mean, maybe Arcana or something.
Yeah, you can do that.
I got a 14 on my investigate.
Perfect. And Laszlo, you're making an Arcana check.
That's a natural one.
Natural one.
There are
no
no books here.
No magic around.
What is magic?
On that 14, Naya, you find behind the counter, definitely where like an employee spot, if there could be one, you find a sheet of parchment with a goal of 2,500 gold pieces written that's up top and circled, and they kind of have a tally of how much they're getting to and how much they're making.
2,500 gold.
I believe so.
Okay.
I need to double check.
And is there any notes of what is accumulating to this 2,500?
It's 1,000 gold pieces. I do
1,000.
apologize.
That's a nice round number.
It's 1,000 gold pieces. It seems like they're just counting how much they're making.
With
Now,
the
is
goal
this-
of making 1,000, correct?
And in terms of books, what is a reasonable amount for a used book at a stall like this? If that's
Yeah, no,
something that makes sense in terms of,
absolutely.
does it seem unlikely that they would make 1,000 gold on books alone? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's a high goal for sure.
Okay.
You can see that they sell books anywhere from a couple gold pieces if it's super common, and beaten up to 25 gold pieces for maybe something more rare, hard to come across.
I kind of go over to Benlin and Kirill and let them know what I saw.
Once you come over to explain that, I will drop all of the prestidigitation effects.
As you drop them, Avani kind of, I swear something was burning.
Oh, Kirill, let's put that out. Goodness, it was him all along. You're so smoking hot, darling.
Dear. I know, sometimes I don't know how to contain my internal flame, if you catch my drift.
Everybody around hearing that, make a perception check.
And hear the internal flame.
Is that a
4.
perception check?
Yes.
God.
Back to rolling well. That is a 21.
Okay.
5.
5. And
4.
Laszlo, you said 4?
Yep.
4.
4. Kirill, you see Avani's face turn red.
Like anger red or
Ooh,
embarrassed?
she's
Oh, no.
attracted.
Not angry.
Oh.
She likes that flame.
Sweetheart. Wrong target audience, dear.
Baby girl.
At this point, you hear some
Okay,
rushed
sorry.
footsteps as Inbar comes back, and he's kind of panting. He looks at Benlin. Corvala's on her way. She
Out
would
of
like to
town.
discuss. She would like to discuss what's happened, and
Very well. So we're closing up, and we're all going to have a nice lunch then. Come along.
I
What do you
will,
recommend?
having caught the redness, I will take Avani's hand and kiss it and say, "Thank you for keeping us company while we waited. It was a very entertaining break."
she stumbles over her words as she. Oh, um, you're welcome. I Corvala should be here any moment, and she'll escort you guys back as we have to shut down for the day apparently. As she kind of smiles, then looks at Benlin and looks back down.
We look forward to the escort.
I'll hand the gentleman 5 gold and say, I'm sorry. I know this is an inconvenience to your business.
He
And hopefully your
accepts.
business isn't in the murder of innocent people.
As he's looking at the gold, that line kind of strikes him, and he just, I don't know anything. I hope I don't know anything, and walks away to help Avani shut down their stall.
Well, I hope you know
Laszlo.
something.
How much money do you have?
That
Great.
Okay, we're gonna really have to have a reimbursement conversation then.
That was very kind of you, though.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I know the struggle of running a business. Yeah.
As you guys are having this conversation, you hear distinct footsteps as a very tall, dark-haired, broad-shouldered woman walks up, and you must be the adventurers from Candlekeep. Greetings, what may I help you with?
I wouldn't call us adventurers. We work for Candlekeep.
We prefer delegation.
Delegation?
Yes,
What may I help with?
there's a bit of an issue that we're looking to sort out.
And it
Perhaps you can
involves
help us.
my business?
Very much so.
Unfortunately, yes.
I'm confused.
Does Mazfroth's mighty meanderings, digressions mean anything to you?
She kind of poises and thinks for a moment. She goes, "No, it may have come across my inventory and then gotten sold. You have to understand, I churn and burn many books, not literally, of course.
Insight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I feel bad because I feel like I'm calling insight a lot, but that feels like a lie. Oh, okay. Now we're back to the bad ones. That was a 9.
It's unclear. I mean, she's talking to you about her business, and she came out to greet you guys. No one's crossed you yet, but it doesn't feel right.
I've come a long way from Candlekeep, and it's a bit hard for me. So I need you to start telling the truth now, or something bad's gonna happen.
She looks over at Laszlo.
I'd like to make an intimidation check.
Absolutely.
I feel like we all look over at Laszlo at that moment.
13.
13. Okay. She looks at you and kind of, maybe we should. I can't. She kind of stops again. Look, I have to do what's best. She leans in. I have to do what's best for my business and my close family. Can we talk somewhere else? Not so public. Come back to our quarters.
So that you can jump us and get rid of the problem? No, I think we'll just summon the city guard and we can all discuss that down at the House of Justice then.
She shows both of her hands, turns a full 360 to show no weapons, and she says, I fear something may have gone awry, an outcome I had not planned for, but I don't want to talk about it here.
Fine. We will procure an inn room, neutral territory.
She says, okay, that'll do.
All right. I will go and get us an inn. The rest of you stay here and make sure they don't run for the hills.
Lovely. More
All
time
right.
with our new friends sounds grand.
Rio, as I did not anticipate this side outcome, it's the upper city. You know, you've heard tales of the Elf Song Tavern. It's not hard to find.
The
And they have
Elfsong
rooms
Tavern?
available.
The Elfsong Tavern, that's in
Yeah, it
that's in
is.
Avernus.
Yeah, it is.
Which is in
Okay,
Baldur's Gate.
I'll just
Which is in Baldur's Gate.
Which is where we are. We get it, nerds.
Continuity.
Muppet hands.
They have a room available.
Okay, I'll just go rent a room and then send word to my party to meet us at the Elfsong Tavern.
Cool. Does anybody need to do anything or have any specific questions on their mind or anything for Korvala and Avani and Inbar as they join you on the trek over to the Elf Song Tavern?
Naya, did you tell us about their goal?
What's that?
Did you tell us about their goal that you found?
Oh, yes. Like when she was still, like right before you dropped the spell, because that's when
Okay.
you dropped it, when I mentioned that to you.
2,500 is a lot of gold. Just a thought.
It was 1,000. I misspoke. I had to double check my text.
1,000 is a lot of gold. Just a thought.
People might resort to some desperate things trying to get that kind of money.
True. And to think, there's so many resources available to accomplish almost anything without untoward means. Just having this conversation very openly in front of them as we're walking.
Have
Yeah.
you guys, have you been at this stall long?
Korvala turns and says, no, we've been at it a few weeks now, maybe a couple moon cycles, months.
And where are you from?
Oh, way out in the Sword Coast. We've been around a bit.
Do you know what
And
phase
do-
the moon is in presently?
No, I don't.
Oh, I always try to
That's-
keep my cards in order just in case, we have some sort of lunar event.
It's
Moon cycles, as you said.
Avani pipes up. It's waxing.
Thank you. Too kind. I'll have to rearrange some affairs.
I love a
Uh,
good wax treatment.
And you do so well with them.
never had it.
Oh,
No,
darling, you
no
absolutely
hair.
should.
no hair.
I think we could make something work.
It won't hurt as bad when she pulls it off if you don't have hair. Trust me.
Would you
Unless
bring
you
a
like
scale?
that. Unless you want it, in which case.
I get the distinct feeling that she's not talking about hair removal.
And with that, You guys make it successfully to the Elf Song Tavern.
Yes. Elsa. We enter.
Benlin, are you waiting for them downstairs? Are you waiting up in the room?
I'll wait for them
What's-
downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, you guys all know what Benlin looks like. He's probably hanging out, right? Judging the food.
What is on their
Did say I
menu,
was-
Benlin?
It's mostly elven fare, so not really to my tastes, but when you have a theme,
Perhaps there are some song-related dishes.
I think if all of you wouldn't mind, we'd love to get to our discussion now that we have a private, neutral space to do so.
Corvala nods her head and says, "Shall we?"
Go to the room.
Yeah. Cool. You guys head upstairs. As everybody enters the room, Avani and Ibarn.
In-bar.
Inbar. Thank you. Yes, Inbar. They stand up straight as to show respect for Corvala as she sits down and makes herself comfortable. All right. What questions may I answer?
Tom.
Well, why first? Why are the books coming alive? Why did one almost kill me? Why were there other two that were alive in Candlekeep that almost destroyed the library? How many more are there? Who made them? Just for starters.
She looks at her two workers and with a nod, she says, "Thank you, you two. I'll be having it from here on out." As they step outside the door and then close it behind them, Corvala says, "Look, I never meant for the Gingwatsums to get into Candlekeep. They were instructed to hold their form.
Until
I'm sorry.
what?
Indefinitely. How
I
else
don't
am I supposed to sell rare books? Rare books are just that. They're rare.
so you're telling me you used Gingwatsits to fake the existence of rare books.
Rare books means more money. More money feeds my pack."
There's that word again, pack.
So how many more have you sold?
She acknowledges the compliment and then looks at Naya, and after recounting in her head, we've sold 3 and no one has come for the... We've sold 3.
How many are
Oh,
left?
excellent.
She turns to Benlin and rather defensively, "Only a couple more."
Well, clearly they cannot keep instructions. It's a miracle they haven't killed any of the sages at this point.
She shakes her head, and they do need to feed sometimes. And truthfully, I thought they'd make their way out and be taken by bandits. I never thought they'd get into the Great Library. Ah,
Regardless of your intentions, they've gone awry.
she goes, they have.
You know we can't let you keep doing this.
We need the remaining Gingwatsons.
How many of you are there?
She leans back, making herself a little extra comfortable, sizes each of you up and down. There are more of us, enough to work the stall. We must eat. I will not create any more.
How many of you are there? Answer my question.
She kind of looks and just, there's enough of us to run the stall and for a couple people to take a day off when we need.
We will be destroying the remaining Gingwatson. So surrender him now, please, and we can be on our way.
And she looks at Laszlo and says, well, that would have been a lot easier if we had gone back to my quarters.
Look, you seem like good people. You need food. I can feed you and the rest of your people, and I have employment that doesn't involve screwing people over. Also, my friend here, and he gestures to Naya, also runs a business. If your people are willing to work, and there's not 50 million of you, there might be an opportunity here. But you need to start being straight with us. I won't allow you to keep putting people's lives in danger with these creatures, but if you're truly as desperate as you say you are, and willing to lead a better life, then that's something that might be possible.
Why do
She,
you need 1,000 gold pieces?
visibly in thought, Kervala takes a second to answer, and she finally drops both hands and puts her head down. She rubs her head to bring her back.
Ooh.
Our fearless leader.
What happened?
It's unimportant, but we would love to work. You know, resurrection spells are not cheap.
No, clearly they are not. Well, travel with us. We'll get you work. And there's probably more scrupulous spellcasters at Candlekeep in the first place. We do have a temple.
Her eyes kind of get wider as you say that. Oh my goodness. I hadn't even thought. Okay.
To be fair, much of my work is scouting, and folk with your skills to be able to obtain these books would be invaluable.
What other skills do you all have?
She looks at Naya, looks around, and I'd rather not say, but you all have shown me great trust. And she covers her mouth, and as she starts to take her hand away, you see the fangs. Very sharp, edged, pointed teeth. And then she kind of adjusts back to her true humanoid form, as she was before.
I bet you like really crusty bread, don't you?
I love it. Why?
Oh, it helps with the gums.
So, how many workers do you need?
Well, we can find work for as many as I'd say 7. I just had that line cook from the morning shift. She's having a baby, so she's moving back to Waterdeep, and could always use more people in the garden because it's seeming like this is going to become more common. Laszlo, any bookbinders necessary?
No, I don't trust them with books.
I think that if you have folks that you particularly trust with bringing in the Gingwatsits, because we would like to bring them in, whoever you trusted to contain them might be useful as scouts and collectors for particularly difficult books.
She goes down to ponder. She thinks. Yes, absolutely. Theron and Zahn were the two who knew where they were and how they must be guarded. Theron and Zahn are my two most trusted, and there are only 3 others that I've created. Obviously, it's too dangerous to keep making them.
Gingwatsits.
Indeed.
Yes, King Watsons. They can take any form of any mundane object you choose, and they can also take the form of a small animal. Normally, when they need to feed, they change into the animal, go feed, and then come back. That's their whole point.
What is it that they feed on? The one we encountered kept wanting life.
Yeah, that's what they feed on. Again, I only do it to rare books, and rare books typically don't make it to their destination.
Interesting.
Well, perhaps you can keep them objects at least for the journey, and we can let them out in the woods a little bit to hunt before we get there, so they're satiated once we let
Why
the
not
sages
open a-
begin their research.
Why not open a exotic pet store? I mean, then they would be fed even in their pet forms. Sounds like a better plan all the way around.
The market for rare pets is nowhere compared to just books. You can see that reliable profit takes triumph over a sale here and there.
Well, I suppose since we're at some kind of agreement, maybe we should take away the rest of the King Watson and go home.
I think that's grand. As much as I wanted to be back in a city, this is not exactly the experience that I expected. Home sounds nice.
It's terrible.
Oh, Laszlo, we'll come back on a better trip eventually.
How long will it take you and yours to prepare for the journey?
A night just to pack up and gather the last of our things. If you see me with my 2 swords tomorrow, well, you should know by now they're not swords, but they'll be fine.
So these King Watson, can they take the form of any book?
Yeah.
How do you decide what's inside and written if they've never seen the book before?
Oh no, they get made as replicas as I have the originals.
You said
I thought you make them because you can't find the originals.
Oh, I just don't sell the originals because then I don't have any more of the originals to sell.
Well, there's your payment into Candlekeep. How many of these rare tomes do you have, girl?
Minimum 3.
Yes, so those 3. And how many is the Mimic Guardian? Oh, 3 more, so 6. I have 6.
And there's 6 of you, correct?
6 of my crew, 1 of me.
So you had 6 King Watson total, then we killed 3 of them. So you have 3 remaining.
Oh, I was working on it. No, there's no more. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What was it?
17.
17?
1 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were cutting out just a little bit. 17. She's telling the truth. She knows she doesn't like to do that. It's bad.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, that's shove off then.
Shove off we shall. And
Well, we have our room for the night. We'll see you on the morrow then.
we'll meet you here then?
Yes.
That's fair.
Wonderful. As she opens the door, she kind of startles the other 2. You see them jump as she snaps, and they all make their way out.
I'll call after. See you in the morning, dears.
Oh, Benlin, you were so kind to them.
Hopefully I don't
Manipulation
learn to
is
regret it.
is all we can hope for at this point.
How are you gonna pay them, Bedlin?
I have employees currently.
7 more?
I definitely want Ayani. I think I can definitely whip her into shape.
And I should be able to take 2, so that's only 4 at least.
Yes,
If what
and
she
I'm
says
sure-
about her swords are correct.
And I'm sure someone else at the outfitters or the smithies or anyone else. We're always looking for people. people don't usually stay at Candlekeep. We're anomalies, as it were.
How are you all? How do you have enough gold to pay? I need to ask for more money.
Oh, I'm not paying them. We're not paying them. They're just going to
Candlekeep.
become, yes, new members of the team, as long as they prove their worth. I mean,
Now, as far as them making 1,000 gold pieces, that would be up to how hard they want to work.
but it's better than counterfeiting. If nothing else.
And plus, I'm sure the Temple of Agma would be much more amicable to helping them than anything here at Baldur's Gate.
All right, you guys have the room for the night, and
We do need to figure out how to get that 7th one in. If they only have 6 rare books, we're going to need a 7th.
We can go back to the market.
I mean, they can give over both of the creatures as books. That's how the other ones got in, and just explain what they are after the fact.
Could work.
all right, are you guys doing anything special at Elfsong Tavern, or just turning in for the night?
I mean,
so
over
she
Baldur's
showed
Gate
us-
right now, so.
So she showed us her teeth. Is it fair to assume that we know what we're getting ourselves into? I think we didn't really press it because of your faux pas earlier, but like, should we be more concerned about that than?
Are you asking me or your fellow players?
Well, I'm saying like was that enough for us since we already knew what they were? You see what I'm saying?
Is that for enough
That-
for the players or to the characters to understand that they're were creatures?
Yeah, with
Okay.
the pack slip ups and them like having obviously a hierarchy,
The lunar patterns.
the lunar patterns. Yeah,
So what I'm saying is like, so we're aware of what we're bringing to Candle.
And
As-
shifters are common enough. Like we know
Yeah.
shifters are a thing. So okay.
yeah. And if you
In
hadn't
books,
known, at some
anyways.
point, Kirill probably would have told you tales of one.
Oh, right. I guess I don't think of her like that, but I guess that is what she is.
So,
And
morning.
these guys don't seem particularly evil or anything, right? Like they seem like they actually.
Well,
I
and
guess.
even if they were evil, when we brought them within the walls, they're inside a entire infrastructure of paladins and sages and wizards, and like, I mean, I don't think they stand a chance if they decided to turn.
Mhm.
So
But
next
what-
morning arrives. Y'all are waking up, and who's the first one awake?
Usually
Probably me.
Benlin,
I'll be
Oh.
next.
me and
Ben-
Naya.
I'm
We
last.
wake up at the same time.
Okay,
We're
I only need 4 hours, so I'm like, I'd probably be up first.
true. Yeah. As morning descends, nothing you guys aren't aware of. Nothing that's out of the ordinary. Some people start coming into the tavern down below for breakfast, and just to get their morning started the right way with Folgers in your cup.
So are they there?
Yeah, Corvala makes her way down into, not down, she makes her way into the main tavern, and she approaches and says, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, darling. You look lovely this morning.
Thank you.
We're
Some hope will do that.
very excited to see you.
I'm not.
To be fair, Laszlo's never been excited to see anyone.
Well,
Okay.
he was killed by one of those blobs, so you won't hold it against him, I hope.
She turns and, oh, I'm
You-
sorry.
You're also taking away a bit of my livelihood, creating books out of creatures. So it's 2 strikes. 2 strikes.
Understood. It seems that it'll be coming to an end.
All right.
Are you all ready to save off?
Immediately? Yes, we'd love to return.
Oh,
Sounds
lovely. And she walks out with you. Outside, there are 4 humans, including Avani and I keep forgetting his name. That is unfair to him.
Inbar.
Inbar. Avani and Inbar. 4 humans as well as 2 jackals.
2 jackals.
Yes, they have full harnesses on. They have gear strapped to their backs and but very well behaved.
Ooh, I bet they're so speedy.
You know what? This might work out better than we thought.
She goes, "Oh, is that preferred?"
It's not preferred, but I'm just saying you could probably get multiple jobs. I never really thought of the implications of being both a beast of burden and a person with thumbs before.
Fantastic combo.
I'd love to discuss the possibilities of this on the way, shall we?
Have you ever considered doing a show? I mean, because training animals is so difficult, but you could literally just ask them to do certain things. And the Hearth has been looking for entertainment. No offense, Carol. Beyond what we usually have.
It feels a little degrading.
I would agree.
Not if you're keeping 100% of the profits for yourself.
Let's work that out when we get there. How about that?
That sounds like a plan.
I'm not saying perform for me and my benefit. I'm saying for you and your benefit.
Maybe we'll work out.
That just seems like that's just twisted words, but the same result.
Blah, 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 blah. Benlin has gold dragons in his eyes. He's not going to hear anything else about it.
All right. You guys make your way out of the lower city to the gates of Baldur's Gate, appropriately named, and off on the trip. This
How do you
time,
guys feel about rabbits and rats? I have a terrible rabbit problem in the garden.
are you looking for more rabbits and rats, or for them to be rid? Less. We could do that.
Yes,
we
I'm
may
seeing that might be possible.
Make a perception check, Benlin.
A perception check.
No, what does it mean?
11.
11?
Are you sure you didn't mean insight?
No, I know what I meant.
Damn it.
He knows what it means.
With an 11, you wonder, were the 2 jackals' tails wagging that much before?
I guess we head back.
Yeah.
The path. Second
can
verse,
we
same as
say-
the first.
Can we say that me and Naya went back out to the market and bought just another, not rare book, but a book for the 7th member?
Sure.
And we're bringing
say
2
that.
in as jackals that wouldn't need books, so we're now.
Oh
at
yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're at a surplus now.
yes.
There you go. There's
Candlekeep.
nothing happened on the road. I unfortunately don't have anything planned for the way back, but Candlekeep comes upon you on the 5th day.
Did we 100% derail your whole adventure, Jake?
No, there's just sections where there's content, and there's sections where there's not.
Oh, so there's more when we get back, is what you're saying. Cool. I'll let you DM. I'll be quiet.
So you guys get in. What's the first thing we do at Candlekeep?
I think we would probably immediately try and reach out to Marigold, who was the one that dealt with all this to begin with, and explain the situation and that we had folk that were willing to help hand over further of these creatures, as well as answer any questions about how they're created, try and identify any that may come into the library, etc.
Sage Marigold asks for just a meeting with Corvala, and they stave off. Once a small amount of time has passed, Corvala comes out of her personal quarters with a smile on her face. And Sage Marigold comes up and says, thank you so much for all of the new wisdom you've imparted on this. Not just the books, but this is fascinating. I have a gift. And she goes back around the corner. When she returns, she's holding a rather large helmet.
Rather large what?
A rather large helmet.
Ooh,
What is that horrendous thing?
one
It is
more
a-
sight.
Helm of comprehend languages. And she
I
Who is
like
gift
it.
For me?
for, well, everybody. Use it as you may. Place it where you must.
Oh,
We-
too bulky for me, darling.
Or Vala? Sell it. You need the gold, don't you?
She. Are you sure?
Of course, I'm sure.
By Nadalia, we're gonna do it. Oh my goodness, thank you.
Mm.
Oh,
But understand that this kindness, while it does not come with strings, it does come with an outstretched hand of peace and trust.
understood and agreed. As she extends her hand.
I actually could have used that for.
It would have been really useful for you, wouldn't it have?
Should we take a vote next time, or I don't know how adventures work.
I'm sure you can figure out something else. I can cast it on you if you'd prefer.
I mean, unless you're going to be with me while I'm doing the book binding, it's fine.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to handle my singing, and I'll exit now that we've gotten them settled.
I take Ayani by the arm and I kind of lead her back to the bath and steam house. You're going to love everyone there, darling.
Her
I take
eyes
the two-
wide.
I take the two jackals and the others back to the hearth, set the jackals up in the interdimensional garden, show them the things I don't want in my garden anymore, and set them about that task, and then drop all pretense of kindness as I turn on to cook mode and start yelling at the others about my kitchen.
All right. With that, that's chapter 2.
Level 3.
Book 2, level 3.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and watching. Thank you for your patience with me, as I'm still kind of a new DM and still learning Roll20 and, working on all the bugs. But I appreciate you sticking with us, watching, hanging out. If you have any feedback, comments, questions, anything like that, put it in the comments below. Reach out to us. We have a Discord that's pretty active, actually. People joining all the time, sharing funny memes, asking questions, just sharing cool D&D stuff that we find.
Link in the doobly-doo.
Link in the doobly-doo. And, I'm realizing now I need to work on my sign-offs. We would like to thank our patrons, which Coulter has the list of.
Thank you so much to Sparky, David, Daniel, Scott, Rio's mom, Alistair, Sean, and Johnny Mac. We really appreciate your guys' support so much. And then now that we're at the end of the video, because I meant to do this at the beginning, thank you so much to Endless Adventure Supply Co. We are going to be running a one-shot on next Thursday, which is the Thursday before this comes out. But if you're on Twitch now, you can see it now. We're going to have a one-shot on Thursday at 6:30 again. Endless Adventure Supply Code made all these really cool chain link dice bags that I believe they're going to launch in their own store, but they also have a whole bunch of one-shot adventures up right now on the Dungeon Masters Guild. So if you look for Endless Adventure Supply Co., you should be able to find them, and we'll also have the link for that in the description.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. And we would like to wish you natural 20s. I'm sorry.
Friends, fun, and natural 20s.
That's what it is. Thank you so
Good
much,
night,
everybody.
everybody.